Hi, it is Janine with your Diamond Mentor Moment. I have been out for a few weeks. Thank you so much for your patience. I've been traveling. I did the Women in Electronics keynote, the Women in Educational Leadership keynote in Newport, California for AXA. And then I flew to Chicago to do the Women in Medicine keynote. So it has been a women's week this past week. And so I'm so excited to be home for a while and just really just get the curriculum ready and get everything ready for 2024. But this is your Diamond Mentor Moment. And today we are talking about how to be a dilettante. A dilettante. The definition of that word, it's spelled Dilettante. And the definition of the word is very important for those of you looking to increase your creative thinking, your curiosity, your methods of thinking, but also to increase your ability to connect with people from different lived backgrounds, people on your team, and just people from around your city and around the world. The definition of dilettante, to be a dilettante, is a person who cultivates an awareness or a liking in a particular area, such as the arts, but it's not really like a true commitment. Like there's people who practice the piano, but they practice it like they're trying to be a virtuoso, but you're just dabbling in it. And so I wanted to share a small clip from the Aspen of Ideas from someone who really understands creative thinking. I have one of their books called Think Bigger. And let's hear what he talks about why being a dilettante is so important. And then I'm going to come back and show you ways that you can be a dilettante in your personal life, but also your professional life. So let's share this screen and let's hear from these two speakers at the Aspen Institute of Ideas.
Okay, so it's hard to pick two, but I'm going to, the first one, I would say we've been talking about the power of distant combinations, bringing together cognitive material that is conceptually distant from each other, combining two things that are similar. You'll get a new idea, but it won't be that surprising and new. So think about your daily practice with this in mind. How can you get different conceptual material into your mind? There are a lot of different ways you can do it. One of them is to take up a hobby or just be a dilettante in something. Learn something just a little bit. You're not any good at it, but you learn enough that you're getting cognitive material from that. When it gets to the group level, it's very comfortable to be interacting with other people that are a lot like you. And most of us are in environments where we are with other people like us in a team, in an organization, or wherever you are, even with a group of friends, likely to be people a lot like you. If you can interact with someone very different from yourself, who has different cognitive material in their minds, then you have a real exchange where you're truly listening to absorb that cognitive material and combine it with what you have, and you're giving to them as well. So,
Right. All right. So I want to make sure I am not sharing my screen anymore. Wonderful. So that is the example of a dilettante, really looking at different ways that you can go and expose yourself to different interests and of course different people. And that is the foundation of intercultural creativity. So here's one thing that I did. I was speaking at the convention center where I live in Phoenix. And I was walking along to the breakout session and I saw the cart that had all of the brochures and all of the magazines about what to do when you're visiting Phoenix, because a convention center is a place a lot of people are coming from outside of the city and definitely outside of the state. So I grabbed a few. I grabbed, this magazine, a few pamphlets, and one that says Bucket List Adventures. And I'm grabbing magazines and pamphlets from a city that I live in, and I'm around all the time. But it really opened my eyes to different aspects of the city that I have not tried before. And so my family, we try to do one new thing a month, hopefully every 2 weeks. Where's a new place that we can go? What's a new activity that we can do that we have not done before? And of course, he mentioned really having connections with people who have different cognitive data in their brain than you would. And don't forget, I talk about this in my keynotes. Your brain, yes, this is your brain loves routine. Your brain loves to predict what's going to happen. So it's an extra metabolic cost for your brain to reach out to people that have different lived experiences. And for people who may not have the same routines or traditions or activities that you may be used to doing. It's also a higher metabolic cost for you to be doing activities and interests that you don't have a set routine for, that you're not proficient in. And yes, it's more work for your brain, but it helps your brain get stronger and it helps your brain get more creative. And so that is one way. One of the speakers that she wasn't talking there, but she's brilliant. Her name is Dr. Sheena Iyengar, and she wrote the book Think Bigger, as you see, I read here. And we're going to talk about metaphorical box jumping, but that's an idea that I got from her book, the importance of getting out of your norm and getting into different areas, different disciplines, different systems. So that is your Diamond Mentor moment for today. The quote that I love from the Medici effect, I say it all the time in my talks. Innovation happens at the intersection of fields, disciplines, and cultures. So if you're in your own bubble, if you're doing the same thing around the same types of people all the time, you're not getting to the intersection where innovation happens. Become a dilettante, become interested in new ideas, new activities, new types of people. Go get some pamphlets at your local visitor center in the town that you live in to check out new ways of seeing your town and learn to see better and do better. Of course, I talk about this in our new book called My Brain, My Brain, My Beautiful Brain, that my 5-year-old son and I wrote together, illustrated by my husband, talking about how to really exercise your brain for creative thinking and great cultural connections. This is your Diamond Mentor moment, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.